Hey guys, so on with the dimensions. Um, the clusters of thought, I wanted to give you another example, would be like sadness or happiness. There are different levels of happiness, and people are going to feel different ways, you know what I mean? But they can all be happy. So there are different like wavelengths within the realm of happiness, and happiness itself would be a cluster of thought. But it's a higher frequency than sadness, and you can feel that. So that is the vibrational output that I'm getting at. And your output is determined by the decision that you make on a conscious, unconscious, subconscious level in each moment on how you're going to feel now. Now, to be in the past is to be depressive. To be in the future is to be anxious, and to be present is to be content, peaceful, chill, shit like that. Okay, what else? So dimensions of thought will enable various emotions to arise more so than others. For example, the third dimension, we're just going to start at the third dimension because the first two are very simple. And I mean, okay, the first one is just basically like just being. It's like one, so you're just there, just there. Two dimensions is like animal, where you're like, there's a feedback loop. It's 1 and 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. And then 3 is how we are, where you have the feedback loop, which is 1 and 2, but then you also have the recognition of something different, or the potential for the recognition of something different. For example, a lot of people get stuck in insanity, basically, because they keep preaching the same thing in their minds. And this is actually how we create our realities. We continue to repeat, or we change the narrative, We can create at any given time anything we want. We just have to have the alignment and the knowledge or belief in faith in what we're reaching for or manifesting now, here and now. There's no suffering in the present, by the way. So in the third dimension, we have conditions. That's what the third dimension is really about, conditions, where we can take into consideration this condition, that condition, and the third, whatever's going on, you know what I mean? And make a decision from that to create a different reality from the one we've been in. Consciousness never travels the same path twice. So we then have the clarity that no two people are gonna have the exact same path, which is also along with like words don't teach. You just gotta chill, let people find their way. You could be a guide by being a shining light, or leading by example, in other words. But the words don't really teach, it's through experience. So be that experience in order for them to get it. You get it? You know what I'm saying? So we have the fourth dimension after the third. And the fourth dimension is unconditional love. It's unconditional being. It's unconditioned. So we're not looking at things and going like, oh that. No, we're not jumping all over the place. We're here, and we're like, nice. Okay, I see that. Yeah, I understand. Okay, I get that. You're seeing things very clearly, and they're just coming freely. You're just in the receiving mode, where you get out your own way. That's when you're really in your heart, by the way. God is love, right? So source God, the creator, is of the vibration of love, because love is almost like a medium vibe. It's where everything kind of like meets. So after the fourth, we have the fifth dimension. The fifth dimension is the transcendence of space and time. So we're in a space-time reality. Each moment I'm deciding I'm here, I'm there, I'm wherever I am in my mind. And then you have the filter that says, this is what I'm perceiving now. This is what's going on now. And it paints over your actual eyes, because it's in mind, and everything's being broadcasted or received in mind. So if you have something going on in your mind, it's gonna kind of overshadow or cast a shadow upon everything, or a light, definitely, or a light, cast a light, we'll say cast a light on whatever you're thinking, you know what I'm saying? Because everything's dual, so. But outside of space and time, everything is singular. So everything comes to a point in which manifestation like happens. Like you're now, you're you're here and now in the fifth dimension. Okay, so the present moment has all this light in it. I mean, look, everything is illuminated. Like we lit. And so the sixth dimension is that light frequency that comes down into the dimension that doesn't have space-time, but still is a denser form of manifestation than the light itself, because the information that light flows through, right, is what causes you to see this, that, and the third. It's the wavelength that it's holding, that the light is accommodating as it comes down into the fifth dimension, where things are as they are, like beyond space and time. That's deep. Okay, so in the sixth dimension, you have pure light frequencies, because the light itself forms everything. Like that's like heaven is the next dimension. Heaven is the seventh dimension, where everything is a light frequency and has its own light coding, because codes program reality. And everything that you're perceiving is a reality, you know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm getting at. I hope that resonates with you all. If it doesn't, you know, if y'all have any questions, just hit me. So then we have the eighth dimension, which is infinity, where literally this is like the home of like where insanity could be birthed, because of the infinity sign. If you're running the same loop, because the projection comes from that central space where the light emanation hits the fifth, fourth, and then third dimensions, developing and growing into a light frequency that is experiential, that you can touch, taste, smell, whatever the other one is, see. So in the eighth dimension, we have infinity, and our infinite nature is non-physical. It is of that light of heaven. It is of that purity, because now there is no suffering now. So right after you get beyond that fifth dimension, fourth dimension, really, once you're in the fourth dimension, there is no suffering. There is no like, the conditions just don't influence you the way that they would in the in the third dimension. So when you're in the eighth dimension, you're actually like to the point in which you're free to create whichever reality you wish to see, because the heaven itself will orchestrate itself in your favor, because you're of that reality, and it will shape that which you intend to see for you, yourself, and everybody. But you know, to each his own. And so then we have the ninth dimension, where these points, right, create these lines, but they're each separated by 90 degrees. Don't know how to explain that exactly, but this is just my understanding, guys. There's information out there if y'all want to, you know, find out more. Now these 90 degrees equate to like various realms and realities that are available or readily available to the soul, to the presence of spirit. So we can jump timelines. We can, what's that? Like, yeah, jump in timelines. That's it. We can jump timelines, and we can shift our realities to be something completely different, you know, all in a day's work. So then we have the 10th dimension, and this is the last one. I mean, it goes up to 13, but I'm gonna hit 10 because like 12, 11, 12, 13, it's just abstract, you know. It's really, again, y'all can do your research. So in the 10th dimension, we have the one and the potential for anything to come. So basically just source God, the creator, because God is the insertion, and then the circle is the female aspect, which is the creation, you know, the potential for it. So that's that. I hope that sufficed. Hope you all enjoyed the video. Thank you for listening, and I appreciate y'all. Peace and love.